Thanks, Aaron. Gonzaga has played on college basketball's biggest stages, but no gym or arena will compare to what the team will experience on Friday. The Bulldogs will take on Michigan State in the Armed Forces Classic. The game will be played on an aircraft carrier, more specifically the flight deck of the USS-Abraham-Lincoln in San Diego. This is the first time since 2011 and 2012 that a college basketball game will be played on the deck of an aircraft carrier. Michigan State was a part of that first game in 2011. Gonzaga head coach Mark Few actually said the reason he agreed to this year's game was Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo told him it was one of the coolest things he's ever experienced as a college basketball coach.
What a great way to, in a very, very small way, just honor all our service people that are out there. I think that's going to be extremely powerful. I know it's already powerful for me, but give our guys just a real hit of, what the guys that are really laying it on the line for all of us, so we can have all these freedoms that we're all enjoying and complaining about and all that.
Tip-off is scheduled for 3:30 on Friday afternoon. This is the first time the Zags and Spartans have matched up since 2011. And coming up later in sports, we'll have coverage from San Diego with Alex Crescenti. Guys?
Thanks so much, Julian. Well, midterm results are still rolling in. Why President Biden is calling November 8th a, quote, good day for democracy. And the surprising correlation, how food stamps can improve brain health for seniors.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsurer.com.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
At Cal Cars, we're proud to live in the United States of America. We are blessed with so many opportunities provided by our servicemen and women that this Veterans Weekend, we'd like to pause and give thanks to our armed forces and give everyone a free American flag who comes in for a test drive at any one of our 3 locations. And in celebration of this 84th Veterans Day, we'll be donating $184 for each vehicle sold to Heroes Homestead this week at Cal.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team back in action, and just before Veterans Day, we've got one at the Vet Center we're going to do geared towards Vietnam vets. It's going to be amazing. You can watch it this week on 4 News Now. The Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Life is dangerous enough without the negligence of others that cause accidents that threaten your physical and financial health. Hello, I'm Lloyd Herman. If you need legal assistance due to an accident or an injury, put my 40 years of experience of dealing with the insurance companies to work for you. Call my offices here in Spokane. I can help you now. When you call, you'll speak to me, or you'll have an appointment to speak to me within 48 hours. I guarantee it. Lloyd Herman & Associates, 922-6600.
New tonight, Kimmel recaps the midterms.
I feel like everyone's exhausted. This is the first election. People don't even have the energy to threaten to move to Canada. We just want to go to sleep.
And Jason Momoa bears it all. Jimmy Kimmel Live, new tonight on ABC.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ironstone Furniture and Fire.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. It has been very, very cold as we have kicked off the month of November. One of the colder and snowier ones we have on record, and this should be our bottoming out, I believe, and then we're going to see a very slight warm-up as we get closer to the weekend. The kind of saving grace here has been that we've seen quite a bit of sunshine, and as we get into the cold months of the year where we don't have a lot of that, that is always nice to see perfect sunny days. We are going to be watching out, though, for 1 or 2 days where we could see a few snow showers, but mostly we're staying dry. Right now, wind chill has been the main issue for the last couple of nights. Omak has been windy all day long, blowing snow, 21-mile-an-hour winds right now. And so that does translate over into some wind chill issues, where it does feel like 8 degrees. And oh boy, poor Winthrop. It's going to be another cold, cold night in the Met-Howe Valley, one of the coldest places in the inland Northwest, if not the coldest. Meanwhile, seeing just slight breezes. Not expected around the metro to have too many issues as far as wind chill goes as we head into tonight and tomorrow. Look at some of these temperatures, though. Down to 6 degrees tonight in Colville. I adjusted down the Winthrop temperature to 1 below 0. Down to 11 tonight in Omak. Down to 17 in Pullman. 27 for Lewiston. And in the middle and upper teens for Spokane and for Coeur d'Alene. So it is going to be one chilly night. We're going to still be in the teens in many areas as we get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We start to see a lot more low 20s, but still well below our average of about 31, 32 at this time of the year. That's where our highs are going to be, right around freezing, although you can see at the bottom of your screen the LC Valley does hop into the 40s. Pretty benign weather for the next couple of days, although we will see some additional cloud cover on Friday, but no moisture from this system, which instead is going to slide down the coast. Maybe 1 or 2 flurries in the mountains, that's it. Instead, keeping an eye on Sunday, and this is a brand new run of the computer model, and so a little bit more activity here. So this is going to be something I'm going to watch pretty closely here as we go over the next couple of days. Check back with us for updates and maybe another Sunday night and Monday morning travel issues around the region. We'll keep an eye on that. Another thing we're keeping an eye on, fog developing around the inland northwest. Talk more about that when I come back.
Thanks so much, Matt. Results from the midterms are still rolling in, but President Joe Biden is already celebrating the Democratic Party's success, calling it a good day for democracy.
The Democrats had a strong night, and we lost fewer seats in the House of Representatives than any Democratic president's first midterm election in the last 40 years.
In Georgia, the race is heading into overtime. Democratic incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker will face off again on December 6th. In Pennsylvania, Democrats clinched a victory with Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman beating his Republican challenger, Dr. Mehmet Oz. According to ABC News, at least 14 of former President Trump's handpicked candidates are projected to lose their election bids.
Usually during midterm elections, the sitting president's party loses seats in Congress as inflation soars and President Biden's approval rating sits at around 45%. Many were expecting that to happen, but we haven't seen that during the 2022 midterms, at least not yet. Jordan Smith tells us why experts believe this is happening and how rare this is in American politics.
Despite projections that there would be a large turnover in Congress, Democratic candidates held off that red wave that was hoping to flip seats during the midterms.
They lost fewer seats than we were expecting, and that's surprising for a lot of reasons.
One of which being that Republicans were in a redistricting year, meaning they were able to redraw their districts to create a favorable advantage when it came to the midterms. Also,
presidential approval, Biden is polling very low. And also, like you said, economic indicators do not favor the president.
All of these indicators suggesting that Democrats would lose big at midterms. Instead, they stifled Republicans in several major races. So how did this happen? Dr. Heitfield brought up Donald Trump, who's remained active in politics in a manner that former presidents typically don't.
President Trump has endorsed hundreds of candidates in this election. Quite a few of those candidates have lost in high-profile races.
Those races include Pennsylvania and Michigan, though some Trump-backed Republicans have picked up big wins, like J.D. Vance in Ohio, who pulled out a win over Democratic incumbent Senator Tim Ryan. Dr. Heitfield theorizes that the weight of a Trump endorsement doesn't hold the power it once did. In fact, it might actually be working against the Republican Party.
What that suggests, in a way, is that this wasn't as much of a referendum election on Biden, but also a referendum, in a way, on former President Trump.
Issues like abortion were important to voters. The risk of losing the right to choose mobilized Democratic voters to come out in large numbers for the midterms. The seriousness of this election was certainly reflected in total cost. According to Open Secrets, midterm election spending is projected to exceed $16.7 billion. Still to come, how food stamps can improve brain health in elderly populations. Next on Nightside.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
What do you get when ice cold beer, gourmet burgers, sports, and the Pint House brand come together? Good times. That's right. Pint House Burgers and Brews is now open at the former Good Times Pub location in the Spokane Valley. It will always be good times at the new Valley Pint House Burgers and Brews.
Whitworth's Health Science program is expanding in a big way. And now's the time to make plans to advance your career by joining us in one of our emerging advanced degree programs. Our 38,000 square foot health science building will house simulation labs and classrooms that resemble actual clinical environments and allow for interprofessional collaboration. Everything you need to take the next steps in your career and help people live better lives. Learn more today.
With dentures from Aspen Dental, all they'll see is your confident smile. How do we do it? We provide exceptional care all in one place, and our denture experts craft natural-looking dentures right in our in-office labs, because we'll do anything to make sure your smile looks like your smile. Right now, get replacement dentures starting at just $2.99 per arch. We can even get started today. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Schedule your complimentary denture consultation now.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word. I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
What's the only thing better than one Pint House Burgers and Brews? How about two? We are now open in the Spokane Valley. The same great sports and music videos, friendly staff and servers, gourmet burgers and ice-cold brews. Pint House Burgers and Brews, now open in the Spokane Valley.
4 News Now is brought to you by Gamma Knife.
Thanks for staying up with us. Social jet lag. It's when you stay up late and sleep in later on the weekends than you do on the weekdays.
Most of us do it, but a new study published today shows that it can affect your body's circadian rhythm or your internal clock. So the study shows that nearly half of Americans have at least an hour of social jet lag during the week. If untreated, it can lead to insomnia, excessive sleepiness, daytime fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. Bad sleep habits are linked to an increased risk of obesity, heart disease, dementia, and mood disorders. So if you're struggling to get enough sleep, avoid naps, caffeine, and alcohol, and try meditation or deep breathing. It's also best to keep the same sleep schedule even on weekends if you can, but a lot of people, including myself, I seriously look forward all week long to my extra hour of sleep on the weekends.
And then they're telling you, they tell you to avoid all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at this study a little harder. Well, a new study shows that older people who receive food stamps experience slower declines to their cognitive abilities. Scientists found that seniors who utilize the SNAP program gain about 2 years of improved brain health over seniors who are eligible but don't sign up. Anyone eligible to enroll in SNAP is generally considered at higher risk of poor brain aging because of financial insecurity. Researchers believe that the improvement in brain health in SNAP recipients is thanks to better nutrition and food security. Less than half the people over 60 years old who are eligible for food stamps actually enroll in the program.
Taking a look at some fog developing around the inland northwest and some low cloud cover as well, spreading over the Silver Valley and over Lookout Pass as well. Pullman and Moscow also seeing some low cloud cover that could end up becoming fog as we head later into the night. They're also seeing some freezing fog being reported in the Methow Valley, the center of all cold and frozen weather, it seems, around the region. All right, so let's go through the metro forecasting for fog, and there's a couple of areas I'm going to be watching. First of all, this is about 5 in the morning. You can see right around Fairchild, trying to see some fog begin to set up there on the West Plains, which is one of those places that often sees these foggy conditions, and this is about 9 o'clock, so through kind of the 6 to about 8 a.m. time frame. That's when you should expect some patchy fog. Not only here, but also I'm going to be watching between Deer Park and Meade along 395 and around the Spirit Lake area. Why? Well, it is going to be quite a bit colder there, and so as we continue to cool off, likely to see a little bit of condensed moisture as a result. So there you go. 8 in Deer Park tonight, 10 in Spirit Lake as we take a look at temperatures around the metro tonight. Fairchild at 11, 18 in Coeur d'Alene, and 17 in downtown Spokane. So definitely a frigid start to the day. Luckily, less wind chill problems around the I-90 corridor. Highs again in the 30s with some sunshine, which, man, that sun has really felt good the past couple of afternoons after those chilly starts. In general, temperatures right at freezing or just a little bit above in that 35-36 range, which is also going to feel pretty good as well. Definitely growing the icicles, at least on my house. As we head through the next few days, this is the general range. We're just going to keep staying it. Mid-30s in the afternoon, low 20s at night, all the way through Veterans Day and beyond. A little bit cloudier Friday, a little bit cloudier on Sunday. We're going to be watching that Sunday forecast. Might see a snow flurry or two that we got to add into there. How long is this cold weather going to last? Well, here is the temperature projections for next week, and that is almost all the way to Thanksgiving. Higher than average chance for that cool weather to continue. And that brings us to our pick of the night. You know, when it's cold, you want to settle down a little bit. You want to, cuff someone up for the cold months of the year. Valerie Fink got a view of this mule deer, which she says is a little lonely. Has been kind of striking out in the dating game so far this fall. We wish him the best of luck.
We sure do. Thanks, Matt. Coming up next in sports, we have a report from San Diego ahead of the Armed Forces Classic, how Gonzaga is planning to play in an outdoor basketball game.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union.
This is a hell of a story.
You're going to really take off.
I will work like a lion.
I'm a believer.
I don't think we've ever had that in 14 seasons.
I'm just so happy.
You are absolutely brilliant.
You were smart enough to follow through with your crazy idea.
That's really great.
I'm going to make you filthy rich.
Let's go!
Shark Tank, new Friday on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country's Christmas Cash Giveaway. Just listen at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2, and 4 p.m. We'll give away $500 Christmas cash every Friday afternoon. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
I know that you're feeling alone right now and that nobody cares about you and everybody has given up on you, but there's actually people out here that want to help you succeed. They want to hold your hand to the finish line and help you get there. There's these people that care and they want to help you go from broken to who God made you to be. You are not alone. People do care.
Scarlett was sitting at home freezing by candlelight without power. She looks at her boyfriend's photograph next to his quality stove, so warm and cozy. She says, "I must have heat. I can't wait another week." Buy you and your loved ones the gift of warmth. Scarlett finds the perfect selection of low-pi and fireplace extraordinaire gas, wood, and pellet stoves that will keep her warm. Red hot sale at Quality Stoves.
You expect more from local news. 4 News Now delivers.
It's to get you the information you need to plan your day.
Breaking news this morning. And breaking news you need to keep your family safe.
On Good Morning Northwest, that's what we mean when we say expect more.
Oh, the big game is almost here. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minenstone. Gonzaga and Michigan State will meet for the first time in 11 years on Friday in San Diego. The teams will play on the flight deck of the uss-Abraham-Lincoln as part of the Armed Forces Classic. Alex Crescenti is in San Diego for the big matchup. He joins us to talk about how the Zags are planning for an outdoor basketball game.
Beautiful San Diego, California, the site of the 2022 Armed Forces Classic between Gonzaga and Michigan State. And for the second-ranked Bulldogs, this will quite literally be one of the biggest games they're ever going to be a part of, as they're going to play on top of the deck of the USS-Abraham-Lincoln. The more than 1,000-foot-long, 97,000-ton vessel is one of the largest warships in the world. But on Friday afternoon, it's going to be host to a couple of top programs in the nation. Now, earlier this week, we asked head coach Mark Few how the team was preparing for this unique situation, and he was pretty blunt in this answer. We're going to find out when we get down there.
We haven't been there yet, so we'll have to see exactly what it is and what's going on and what the game time conditions are like. So we're not going to sit here and try to do something, on a Tuesday up here. No, we need to go play and expect a very, very, very physical game, and probably as Tom always says, the toughest team will win.
The forecast for Friday afternoon looks pretty decent at the moment, but there are contingency plans in place if the weather doesn't cooperate to either move the game to a different time or even inside to a gym on the Naval Base. Reporting tonight from San Diego, California, I'm Alex Crescenti, 4 News Now Sports.